But join me as I welcome Otwikong Franklin Isong to make sense of the conversation this morning as we talk about the cost of living. Otwikong, good morning to you.
Good morning, Captain of the flight. Good morning, listeners. Good to be with you this morning.
Otwikong, I just gave a quick rundown of what you call situation reports of happenings in the country. We're beginning to see the strike and the intensity for strike dissipate. You know, it's what's the word now? It's evaporating. It's not spreading because some of the issues causing the protest and whatnot is beginning to be handled by the federal government. Let's talk about the cost of living. You usually do market surveys. So let's have your surveys to start this conversation.
Well, maybe I wouldn't want to start this conversation with market survey because the price of commodities keep changing per second, per minute, and per hour. So what I notice is that you could buy an item today or this morning, and in the next 1 hour, the price is stopped. So if I give you a figure now, and I step out from here, somebody will call you and say that figure you gave on air was not the actual figure.
But it's something to work with.
Yeah, I have done this, over the years, and this particular season is the most delicate season that each time I don't add figures on commodity, on items, people will later on give me a feedback and say that particular item you gave was just an hour ago. Right now, this is the latest. So it now makes it more difficult for you to actually pin down a particular price for a particular item. But that being said, I think that we are in a delicate situation, and we are almost at a crossroads where we will be expecting government to be more actively engaging the society, the civil populace, for government to come out with policies that will help in assuaging the pains Nigerians are going through. The protest that has commenced in other states, other section of the country, shouldn't be allowed to continue. I think there is need for government to return back to the drawing board and look at it again. I have said this: for us to be able to appraise this situation, we should be able to know the root cause of it. Yes, we have said subsidy was a scam. We had also said that subsidy, was actually a fraud in the petroleum industry. But we had thought that for it to be removed, that the president would have been able to carry out collective, consultation with major stakeholders across board before you now come out with a position as to subsidy being removed or not removed. For instance, you cannot remove subsidy when you've not been able to fix your own refineries. This is what you are buying, you are importing. You buy it. You're not the one that fixed the price at the market where you buy this product. And so if you are the one that produced it, you understand, you can actually say this is what I think should be. So what determines the cost, the landing cost, is so many factors, some of which is the forex, the exchange rate, the oil price in the international market, and the rest. And because you don't have monopoly of this thing in your country, you do not have the powers to abruptly remove subsidy. Now, what I seem to see is a case where the government, the federal government, removed subsidy and put more money in the hands of the government. That is, you rob Peter to pay Paul. You remove money, you remove subsidy from petroleum products that has been the major sustenance and major life wire of the poor, of the middle class. And then this now gives more money to the federal government, to the state government, and to local government. Because as we speak, the revenue that they share per month has tripled. But the poor keep getting poorer. The poor keep feeding from the waste bins. The poor keep, eating from hand to mouth. The poor keep sleeping without food. But much more money have been, put into the treasury of the federal government, state government, and local government. So that is where we are today.
Otwiko, let me now interject you on that premise. I'm glad your analysis has lent credence to something I have been talking about for some days. Today is Wednesday. I spoke about this on Monday. I spoke about it on Tuesday, and your analysis now has, corroborated my position. Now that you say the removal of fuel subsidy has, allowed the federal government to have more monies to give to states and by extension the local government areas, don't you think it is rather unfortunate and a very misplaced priority for everyone to be venting at the government at the center when states are getting so much allocations? Because the federal government will not come down to your state to feed your people. That's why they're giving you increased allocation.
Okay, before I attempt to respond to that question, let me also commend the National Assembly, particularly the House of Reps. Just yesterday, I got a bill that was sponsored by Dr. Patrick Umar, co-sponsored by Honorable Paul Ekpo, representing 18 and Nsirubium, while Patrick Umar is representing Ikorekbene, Esienudima, and Oborokara. Now, what the motion is seeking to do is to compel for an investigation to know why foreign multinational companies are leaving the country. And in the motion, they mentioned the Jubilee Syringe factory that left Akwa Ibom. So they want to actually ascertain the reason behind the exiting of these multinational companies in Nigeria, and particularly the one that happened in Akwa Ibom. Now, having said this, I also want to commend the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umoino, for sending a bill to the House of Assembly for, call it a bill for a law to make for a bulk purchase agency to be able to buy food items in bulk, and then that will now flood the market with government food items that will, compete with the market prices of the ones of the private sectors. By so doing, it would have been able to beat down the prices of food items. And this, for me, is apt because it is in line with Section 14 of our Constitution that talks about the welfare of the citizens. So the government is now responding to the issue of welfare of citizens. Now back to your questions. You see, the unfortunate situation we have is that everybody seems to blame the federal government and the president for taking that bold but untimely action to have abruptly removed fuel subsidy. Good. Now, having removed fuel subsidy, like I have said in my opening remarks, more monies have been put in the coffers of the state and local government. What has this money been used for? Let me take you to the issue of local government, for instance, because it is now time to remove hand gloves and box with bare hands. About local government area, the federal allocation that came into the state, into Akwa Ibom State, that was distributed by the revenue allocation to the 31 local government councils of Akwa Ibom State by the Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC, for the month of December 2023, but it was shared in January 2024. Abak local government area got 304 million naira. 304 million naira. Eastern local government got 245 million naira. Eket local government got 320 million naira. Nsiretai, formerly known as Ekbetai local government, got 251 million naira. Isinudim got 332 million naira. Etimekpo got 281 million naira. Etinan got 322 million naira. Ibno got 259 million naira. Ibesikpo Sultan got 300 million naira. Ibionibom local government got 331 million naira. Ika local government got 254 million naira. Ikono local government got 297 million naira. Ikono local government got 297 million naira. Ikono local government got 305 5 million naira. Ini local government got 277 million naira. E2, local government got 290 million naira. Mbo got 273 million naira. But the local government where I'm from received 329 million naira. Nsiribom received 279 million naira. Nsirubiom received 293 million naira. Oborokara received 305 million naira. Okobo local government received 270 million naira. Una local government received 282 million naira. Oron local government received 272 million naira. Orogodam local government area, Orogodam received 326 million naira. Urumoko local government received 244 million naira. Ukarafon local government received 296 million naira. Esreke, formerly known as Ukwo, local government received 248 million naira. Urwan local government received 302 million naira. Urefogoroko local government received 259 million naira. And Uyo local government received 407 million naira. This document was obtained by the Center for Human Rights from the office of the Accountant General of the Federation. It's part of our duties of holding the public office holders accountable that we obtain the document and tell the people of the state that this is what has come into local government areas of the state. Now, I will start my advocacy with my local government area, Mbarenin. Mbarenin allocations from May to December 2023, Mbarenin received in May 262 million naira. In June, Mbarenin received 258 million naira. In July, Mbarenin received 278 million naira. August, Mbarenin received 303 million naira. September, Mbarenin received 245 million naira. October, Mbarenin received 259 million naira. November, Mbarenin received 304 million naira. And of course, in December, which I've just mentioned, Mbarenin received 329 million naira. Mbarenin is a local government that is recognized with 14 political wards. That is INEC recognized wards are 14. Mbarenin has 87 gazetted villages with 4 clans. If these funds have been put into local government council areas by development, by infrastructure, I do not think that today we'll be suffering or yearning or going hunger. Question is, what has been the project that our council chairman, Mercy Bassi, has been doing with these funds? She has been the vice chairman of the council, and later on, the chairman was suspended. She became acting chairman, and now she is the transition committee chairman of Mbarenin. What has she been doing with these huge hundreds of millions of naira? Where is the single project that she can point out? I challenge her and the council officials to point to one thing that they have done in Mbarenin since these funds have been coming in. We should now begin to leave president and leave the governor and ask the council chairman. My agent mom will not come to Uyo to see the governor. You understand? If she has health challenges, healthcare issues, and we have good road network, we have good primary schools, it will be better off for us. So my question this morning to my local government council chairman, Honorable Mercy Bassi, she's my sister from the same political ward, from the same family. But because we are talking about accountability and transparency, and because she is holding public office, unfortunately for her, I am into that divide of asking her to give account of stewardship. She has to explain to the people of Mbarenin and to the people of the state what she has been doing with these hundreds of millions of funds that have been coming into the state. Time has gone for us to be blaming president for removing subsidy. Subsidy has been removed. More funds have been accrued to the local government areas and to the state. What has my council chairman been doing with these funds? Next day I come back, I will discuss about the next local government area. But let me kickstart this advocacy with my own local government council, which is Marenin. Now somebody will say, did you reach out to her? Yes. I reached out to her. I called her and asked her what she has been doing with these funds. But she couldn't actually give me a clear-cut answer as to what she has been doing with these huge millions of naira. That is why I now take a step further by coming on air to ask her to give account of stewardship. You see, time has gone for leaders to forget about complaining. They have lost the right of complaint. They have lost the right of blaming anybody. It is now the book on their table to explain what they are doing with the funds. That is why when I see those who are coming out today to agitate against Mr. President, they are from the party that he is. The chunk of those who are advocating, complaining today of hunger from the north, west, east, south, north, and the rest are from the APC members. The chunk of it. I've not seen the majority of the other parties like the PDP and the rest complaining. But I'm seeing those in Mr. President party coming out to call him out.
Well, they have. Actually.
No, yeah, I've not seen the large number.
Okay,
no,
the PDP governors actually.
I don't want to. No, you see, when you mention governors, they are trying to push blames to divert us from doing what I'm doing now. That is why I'm saying, for those who are not holding offices, those who have come out to call out Mr. President are those who are in his party. Because hunger does not know political party. Hunger does not know your tribe, religion, or where you are, or your state. Hunger cut across board. And if we don't protect democracy that we fought for, in the 90s, I was in and out of detentions for advocating that military should hand over for civilian. So we need to get better governance. We should operate an ideal democracy where those who are opportuned to occupy political offices are able to give account of stewardship. Point number 2. Let's leave the council chairman now. I have been advocating that Mr. President has ordered in December that National Assembly members be given palliative items worth, for the House of Reps, those items worth 100 millions of naira, rice and other items. And then the senators should get items worth 200 millions of naira. In the course of our advocacy, we in CRAN were able to reach out to all the National Assembly members, because that has come for us to stop blaming Mr. President. We were able to track the palliative rice items and other items. We call on Honorable Paul Ekbo, the member representing Etinan, and ask him where is the palliative rice issued by Mr. President to all the senators and the reps. And he confirmed that he is about receiving his own order, that those who are supplying the rice item have not yet delivered his own order. We called Dr. Patrick Omo, representing Ubodokara and the Senodim, and he confirmed yesterday that his own items have just been received. And we are just looking at his legislative schedules, and he told us that between the first week of March, we should be able to fix a date for him to come and distribute those rice items and other items to his constituents. He even told us that he shared a similar item in December and gave us evidence of the sharing formula that he did. We moved to Right Honorable Mark Eset, representing Uyo, Nsiretai, Ibesikbo, and Urban Federal Constituency. We asked him of the palliative items. He told us that it was shared in December. He got it and shared it in December. He gave us evidence which showed that Nsiretai local government area got in 23rd December 2023, they got their own formula, their own rice, which he shared. He showed us the evidence. Urban local government got their own in 27th December 2023, with evidence he showed to us. Uyo local government got theirs in 27th December, with evidence he showed to us. Ibetikpo got theirs in 29th November with the evidence he showed to us. We moved to Right Honorable Ime Basi Okon, representing Itu, Ibanibom Federal Constituency. He told us that he shared his own in December 26th, 2023, with evidence he showed to us, which we have confirmed. Of course, we have been with Uyimidem. You saw we were here. That has been done with evidence that we have seen. Uyimidem represent Ukanafo Federal Constituency. Of course, Clement Jumbo, we also came out here today. He has done it with evidence that we had. Clement Jumbo represent Abak Etimekbo Ika Federal Constituency. Honorable Martin Nissen representing Oron, Urumoko, Okobo, Mbo, and Refamoroko Federal Constituency. We reached out to him. He told us he had shared his own in December and even in January 7th. He was yet to give us the evidence. We moved on to Right Honorable Emmanuel Ukbomudo representing the Kono Ini. His numbers were not reachable. We are still going to track that to get him to tell us when he shared or if he has not shared, when he will share it. We move on to Right Honorable Ogbolo Mete representing Eket, Ona, Esreket, and even our Federal Constituency. Efforts we made were not successful. He was not able to pick and give us, response. We move on to Right Honorable Urudo representing Bahrain, Eastern Obolo, and Nicaragua Federal Constituency. The efforts we made were unsuccessful. Now, why we are doing this effort is because we want to remove the stress from Mr. President and the Federal Executive. Because he has also given the leverage. More monies have come into the coffer by the subsidy remover, and more monies have gone into the National Assembly, to the state government, and to local government areas. So it is now time for us to shift the blame games to our council chairman that is close to us, our state governors, our house members, our federal house members, and the senators. Of course, the senators we have witnessed, Senator Kong Sampson did his own, and we were there. We are still expecting to talk. We reach out to Senator Anekan Basi, and he is unable to reach out to us. We also reach out to the Senate President. He is unable to give us a feedback. We are tracking this because we want them to be accountable to their people, and this will bring good governance. That is why we take these pains to bring down these records. That the president has removed subsidy, which for us was untimely. But what it has produced is more money to the hands of the federal government, state government, and local government councils. What are these funds have been used for? That is where we are today.
Well, thank you very much for giving that account there. And I must commend your painstaking efforts in getting these things out. Because, of course, when we talk about the cost of living, a lot of times, I mean, if we open up the phone lines, you have a lot of people say, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President. And when you talk, they say the ball falls on the table of the leader. But now you've been able to clear the air based on your investigation, you yourself a journalist, showing that truly Mr. President has given monies, to make cost of living, life, bearable. It's now time for us to ask our different representatives what they are doing with the monies that have come to them to make life easy, because we cannot be talking about poverty, hunger, and then we shift all the blame, everything, and then you say the federal government did that, the federal government did this. We cannot continue to beat a dead horse. What's welcome? Before we go to the phone lines, with this in mind, what then can be done? What are the steps that we can take to, in the immediate, alleviate the suffering of the people? Because the cost of living, as you have rightly posited, is unpredictable. And that's why you could not give us your usual survey, which you usually give us. The bag of rice is this, that one is this. I hear a bag of rice is around 80,000 now.
Who told you? It's approaching 100,000.
So it's gone beyond the 80.
Yes, it's approaching 100. The figure you got could be an hour ago. The figure you got could be an hour ago. The current figure is approaching 100. You see, the question you asked me, the solution and the way out of this dilemma that we find ourselves is for us to have leaders who have the fear of God. You see, I have said this. over time, and I keep repeating this quote, those whose palm kernels were cracked for by the benevolence, we are fortunate, yeah, to be cracked for by benevolent spirit, should not forget to be humble. Nobody came to this world with wealth. Nobody will leave this world with wealth. All the millions we are amassing from our offices, from crooked ways, and the rest, we will not live with it. We will not leave this earth with it. And so we should be more careful. The only imprint you can leave on earth is those you have been able to impact. Is the policies you have left behind. Today when we discuss the Western education, we mentioned Awolowo because of the imprint he was able to leave behind in education and the rest. We mentioned Azikiwe and the rest. Which of our past leaders from 1999 to today we can reckon, we can mention that has done something that we can actually refer to as an icon of democracy? Apart from the fact that President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan accepted defeat and stepped out of the office that we can mention, we can't actually pinpoint to his policies and programs that we are people oriented. So democracy is such that it has been deviated from what we fought for. That is why each time I come here, I become more emotional to discuss this. Because if we had known, I mean we in the civil society group, if we had known that this is what we would get, maybe we would have joined politics. As soon as we got democracy, we joined politics, and then maybe we would have been able to change the narrative. But today, as we speak, Nigerians are jackpying every day, leaving the country. And I can tell you, if all Nigerians are removed today and put in America, and all Americans are brought to Nigeria, America will become like Nigeria. Nigeria will turn like America, because it is about the people who are manning the economy, not about where you stay or location. I said this, Ike. So you have leaders who are ill-prepared to step into office. They claim it is our turn. They see it as turn-by-turn PLC. And when they step in there, they don't know what to do about it. I discussed with a friend of mine, one of my political mentors in those years, and he told me that in the office of governor, for instance, the table is too large. And that if you don't have a pre-planned vision for your people, for the state, and you are elected into that office, you go in there, you could even go gagas because the table is wide, files are everywhere, and you'll be confused. Same thing in the office of council chairman. Same thing in the office of the president. Very large office with document everywhere, files everywhere. Everybody will call you. Somebody will sick in the village, they will call you. Accident will happen here, they will call you. Kidnapping here, they will call you. Armed robbery here, everything is about you. And if you are not mentally stable, you could go gagas even while in the office. That's why you see most times, most persons become older than their age while in office. So what am I simply saying? At this time, we should leave blame game and face the issue squarely. The mistake had been done by the president removing fuel subsidy. The president should now go back to drawing board and return back fuel subsidy. First, as a starting point. I'm coming. You interject. I'm coming.
We should go back to payment of fuel subsidy?
Now we are paying more than that. But through the back doors. We are paying more than fuel subsidy. How much is dollar to naira? Dollar today is about dollar today to a naira. Of course, you can check.
I think it's more than
dollar today. The correct exchange, the dollar is the official rate is 1,645 naira. Black market is 1,900 naira. British pound today official rate to a naira is 1,918 naira. Black market British pound is 2,250 naira. So if you are going to import fuel, tell me, landing cost, how much will you sell at the fuel pump? It will be more than what we are buying today. So the presidency, the government is indirectly subsidizing the fuel product, because by now fuel would have been climbing to 1,500 per liter because of the dollar per naira in the forex. But because they are doing that clandestinely from behind, you won't feel the impact. So why don't you now officially, seeing that you have failed, take the bitter pills and return back that policy that you have made, revise it first. And then when you do that, you now beat down the price of the product. And then fix your refineries. Let's begin to have locally refined products. When you have this flood the market, the price will drop to up to 300 to 400 per liter. Because everybody will tell you why I'm selling this item is because of fuel price. And the fuel is selling it because of the dollar exchange rate. That is what they are putting their market forces on. So you handle that. Second, as a low-hanging fruit, the government, like the governor of Akwa Ibom wants to do, should buy food items and flood the market. Buy food items in bulk, flood the market with food items. Open border. Don't tell Dangote and the board that you open border because you want them to be back. No. You don't have to negotiate with them. We are in desperate situation that need desperate measures. At this time, the government is failing. Nigeria is almost like a failed state.
That's not.
I said almost.
That's arguable, though.
That's my own point. When you have your citizens coming out to cry, to protest peacefully, to agitate that they want food, within your 8 months in office, something is wrong with the policy. So the president should buy food stock in bulk and flood the market. Now you have a governor in a state in Niger who have barred food from coming into the south. Why should a governor sit in the north and say, I don't want any food item to leave the north to come to the south? You are creating two countries in one. You restrict movement, freedom of exchange, freedom of trade as a governor, and that is allowed under Mr. President's watch. I mean, what are we saying? You have in Zamfara, when mining is being done and the state is being licensed. Have we been licensed to drill oil in Akwa Ibom State? So there is need for the government to look at this issue holistically while you try to solve these issues. Otherwise, the problem we are having today is like to someone who has epilepsy and you are treating malaria. The person will definitely die because you have not known the actual diagnosis to apply that will give you the right result and give you what to give person as medication. So, as a way forward, first step is what took us to this point is the first subsidy removal. Can it be reinstated? Yes, it can be done. Second,
and then we continue to pay trillions.
I have just told you, Ike. Now these monies have come in billions to the states. What have you seen as a result of that? You have taken these monies from the poor, from the middle class. You have destroyed the middle class. Today, all we have is only those who are in government that are eating large. They are moving with large convoy. They are moving with little number of aids. And they will tell Nigerians, tighten your belt, endure with us. I laughed when I saw Mr. President's son say, come out to say Nigeria should bear with his father.
Well, that one is different.
I'm just telling you this.
Of course.
And so this is what we are saying. So the truth must be told.
He should
support his father.
Support for his
father. But the reality is that is he feeling the impact
would you
as
not
others?
call for support for your father?
I want to advise my dad to do what is right.
Well,
and what is right in this sense is to revert back to status quo ante bellum.
Otwekon, let me now engage you. You say, as a low-hanging fruit, a solution that you're putting on the table, revert back to status quo ante bellum.
Exactly.
Otwekon, this same subsidy that you want us to continue to go back to paying, we spent trillions, even on a monthly basis. We were spending so much money that it was even becoming too expensive to maintain. That even the last administration attempted to remove it. But it was because of the protest, the resistance by Nigerians, they left it for this administration. Also, the last administration had told us that they pay subsidies up to 6 months. But upon finding by the NNPC, it was said that it was not up to 6 months. That the monies they paid for subsidies was not up to 6 months. Hence, the subsidy had elapsed even before the time they said they paid it up to. So, ab initio, we were already in crisis before the exit of the last administration. Now, this is no blame game. These are facts on the table that can be verified. Otueko, you say go back to subsidy so that a few privileged Nigerians can continue to pillage, commit brigandage at the expense of the people.
Let me interject.
In your analysis,
Let me interject.
Let
me interject because you are now becoming the guest. Well, I'm now the anchor.
Now you find me trouble. Wait. Otueko, in your analysis, you said the good thing about the removal of the fuel subsidy is that it has allowed more monies to flow. So, why are we going back to the same place you said we should not go back to?
Okay. Let me become the guest which I am today, and you are the anchor. You see, you have forgotten the kernel of the matter. The issue is that I have been among those who canvassed against fuel subsidy. Note that as a fact. In 2013, 2014, I was in Abuja, in Lagos, with Mr. President and other stakeholders in this country, calling it Save Nigeria Group. And we are protesting that the president of Jonathan should remove subsidy. That we call it a scam. So that is a fact. We have clearly stated that subsidy is a scam and it remains a scam. Now, what we are saying now is that it must be removed. But you must be able to fix your economy. You don't remove subsidy like he did during his inaugural speech. Subsidy is gone. He didn't even have a cabinet in place. He didn't have a minister of petroleum. He didn't have the minister of economy. He just stood at the Eagle Square just to attract ovation. He made the statement that subsidy is gone, which wasn't even in his address. Now, having made that error, which we call error, because even his aides came out to say it wasn't in his address, why can't you take that humble pill to admit as a leader that yes, subsidy would be gone, but owing to the delicate issue we are facing today, you bring it back and then begin to strategize on the way to remove subsidy. First step is you must be able to fix your refineries to function. Second, you fix your road network. Third, you fix your power sector. You address the issue of security. You address the issue of hunger. When this is done, if you remove subsidy in installment, nobody will even feel the impact. But now you are paying much more than what was paid. But you are paying it clandestinely. And thirdly, how much has been achieved has not been told us in the public. Now, when you are giving money to the state government and local government areas, what have they been using these funds to do? So that is what we are saying.
That the last part of your question.
So that is why we are saying that the essence of what the president has done is to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Now, good. Otueko, I had expected that the last part of your analysis would have formed the kernel of this conversation. But let's leave that. Otueko, what do you call a man who goes back to his vomit? A man who spills something out of his mouth and goes back to regurgitate that same thing. What do you call a person? Do you have a respect or regard for such a person? Yes or no?
No.
Yes,
you see,
yes or no?
You don't put me.
Do you respect such a person?
You will not put me in the box. I'm not in the box to answer yes or no. I will answer you so that you can get clearer picture and our listener will also know. Now, a true leader admits errors and mistakes because that is the quality of a true leader. You don't govern the country with pride and ego and say because you have said it, it must remain. No. You are governing over 200 million Nigerians. And people are dying. So what the president should do is to take the humble pill by reverting to status quo antebellum.
With which money are we going to use?
Are we paying subsidy now through or force?
Wait.
Are we paying subsidy now through or force?
The IMF has told us that.
So what are you now saying?
Hold on.
What is the forex price today? Exchange rate, I just told you. And you are still buying fuel at pump price 700 naira per liter. Is it real? Who is fooling who? President cannot tell us that subsidy is removed and he's paying subsidy from behind. How much is pump price? How much is the forex today? That's the point.
Would you have rather? Yes, let's call it what it is. IMF says we are paying subsidies through the back door so that it does not go beyond the 600 plus benchmark. Hold on. would you rather, would you not have led a protest, carried placard if we were buying fuel at 1,000 plus?
So that is the point.
Leadership.
So why are you now doing it clandestinely?
Hold on.
I'm making us suffer the more.
Hold on. I'm not holding brief, Otwekong. We're having a conversation.
Of course we are.
You see, sometimes in leadership, it's not everything you do, you come out to tell everybody. You open your mouth and say, this is what I'm doing.
Ike, I don't want to say you are wrong, but you are getting it, out of point. Let me call you to order. Let me bring back to order.
So the president was trying to save the situation.
You see, the president is not governing.
By making sure it does not go beyond the 600 plus margin. So if surreptitiously a subsidy is being paid, right? You are now saying,
is it in the budget? Where is the money being used from? The one that is now being paid surreptitiously. Where is the money being used for? Is it in the budget? It is not. I'm telling you that it is even impeachable offense. I'm telling you this, Ike. I'm trying to help Mr. President to do what is right. Because let me tell you the truth. A man who has risen from the level of a senator to a governor to president to a party leader, to a nation, to a leader of a nation, to a leader of ECOWAS region, has gotten it all in life. And so, God has placed him there for service and service alone. You must get it right, so that when you leave, your records will be speaking for you. You are paying subsidy which you have said you have removed, and you are doing it illegally. Which budget is covering that what is being paid today?
Okay, so
it is not. So it is even impeachable offense to use our funds to do what is not approved for.
You're not a member of the House. You're not a member.
But I'm telling you that is action. I don't need to be in the House to tell you what is illegal.
Let's leave that. We'll leave that for the lawmakers to determine what is or what is not. However, our conversation here is to put facts on the table,
which we have done justiciable.
Good. And we must also, in preferring solutions,
which I have said, it shall refer back to status quo ante bellum.
But you started by saying blame game.
No.
And you went back again to saying blame game.
I don't understand.
Yeah, you said let's not do blame games.
I told you here.
But you're going back to the same blame
games. How? I'm giving you solution after giving you the problem.
Yeah, but here you are pointing out through your analysis, which is very clear, that you're blaming the same president who you had commended.
You don't even get the point I'm making, Ike.
So what point
get
are
the
you
point
making?
I am making. One man stood at the Eagle Square. Who sent him to do that? And announced that he has removed subsidy. I told you that did he have his cabinet members in place? Was there a minister? Was there any pre-ESCO meeting? That is why we are now telling him go back to status quo ante bellum. Revert back the policy.
Dead horse. You have said
the dead horse has to come back to life. Because Nigerians are suffering.
More monies are coming to states.
What are they being used for?
Good.
Has he called the chairman and the governor to ask them? Let me tell you, Ike.
That is the crux of the matter.
Ike, in this country, in 1992, 93, 94, I still recall former President Olusegun Obasanjo normally meeting with the council chairman in Abuja quarterly to ask them what they are using the Shopee funds to do, which was released, and other funds. I want to advise Mr. President and his managers to summon the 774 local government council chairman to Abuja. They go there every day to go and spend our money. They should go there and give account and report to the president, to the presidency, what they are doing and their challenges. That is another step that I think the president can also employ. Now, when you meet with his governors, have you met with the council chairman? That's the point. Now, having said this, the way out today, the country is bleeding. So we must be able to apply life-saving measures so that the country doesn't collapse.
So
and this life-saving measure the first thing is to put oxygen. Put oxygen in the life. Nigeria is in a state of coma. Let's put oxygen to it. And the oxygen we are going to put is bring back subsidy. That's the point. When that is done, then you now fix the economy, fix your refineries before you now come and talk about removing it.
The same fuel subsidy is a scam, right?
Because you are paying it illegally. That's it. You see, when we call on Jonathan to remove it, we didn't say do it abruptly. You must be able to fix some mechanism in place.
I have commercials. Biko.
That's the point.
That's my own point too. Let me clear my commercials.